So, hello again. We're going to do a bullion knot now. I want you to draw on a little pencil line, A and B point. They are approximately, they're not as far apart as we just did for the buttonhole loop, okay? So it's sort of 5 millimeters, maybe a little bit more, okay? You can see this is take 2. I made a complete hash of the first one. So, can you see I've made these little holes? Anyway, you're going to come up at A. Oops. Oh dear. There we go. Come up at A, down at B, and back up again at A. But you're not going to pull through, okay? You're going to go all the way. So can you see what I want you to have is lots of shaft here of the needle, okay? With your dominant hand, I want you to hold down the needle, the thread, the whole thing, okay? Not a vice-like grip, but hold it firm. And with your non-dominant hand, you're going to wrap the thread around and around and around. So, like French knot, there's a lot of tension and things involved to get it right. But unlike French knot, you keep on wrapping. There's no magic number. And I will show you how you know when to stop. So, what you want to do really is fill the shaft with thread, with twist on the shaft, so that it's more than what's missing, what's the part of the needle that you can't see below here. So that's approximately 5 millimeters. I've done sort of 10 maybe, okay? And now you're going to move your dominant thumb. You're going to hold down the needle and the thread, okay? And with your non-dominant, you're going to pull through the needle. Okay, now this is the tricky part. This is where you know whether or not you've done it too tight or even too loose, okay? If it's too tight, you're going to struggle to pull it through. Sadly, we're not using milliner's needles, which is what we should be using. I'll explain about them in a minute. So you're going to pull through gently. What can help is to use your thumbnail to just hold down a little bit more so the thread, the twists don't move, and you're going to keep pulling. And eventually, honestly, oh my goodness, the needle will come through. This went better in rehearsal, I might say. There we go. All right, so you're going to pull it through. Don't worry about what it's going to look like underneath your thumb, okay? And you're just pulling, you pull through, okay, gently, but not letting go with your dominant thumb, okay, until you can you see the material is buckling a little bit? Right, okay, at that point you can let go. It'll look like a right scraggy mess, don't worry. You're going to go back and pull it in the opposite direction, all right? Now you're going to want to just help it along a little bit, and it'll all untwist itself magically. It's amazing, until you're left with a little bullion knot. Just like that. So it's a little sort of worm cast all wrapped around neatly, okay? And then you go back down at B. So if you don't put enough twists on, what happens is it doesn't fill up nicely and you'll get loose bits, usually on the left-hand side or on the side that you first came up. But if you've got it relatively neat, as I have, then you get, can you see? Sorry about this beautiful sunshine. You get a little loop, lovely little loop, okay? And you can secure it at the back, and that's it. You've done your first bullion knot. So we'll do another one. So up at A. I'm going to do quite a short one here. Can you see that's probably, I'm going to go down there, which is just 3 or 4 millimeters, I suppose. Back up at A. Push the needle through, so I've got lots of shaft. Make sure you've got enough thread, wrap it round, keep going, and you can see just push it down towards where you came up, hold it down with your thumb and keep going, keep going, keep going as much as you want. And I want you to experiment with putting loads and loads of loops on, and you'll see that you get quite a high little arch. Okay, and then you're going to do the pulling through again. Now, if we had a milliner's needle, it's sometimes called a straw needle. I'm sure John James have them. In fact, I know they have the milliners. And the difference is that the eye of the needle is no wider than the shaft of the needle. So it's much easier to pull through. Well, it's easier. I shouldn't say much easier, but it is easier. And you still have to get the tension right, which I clearly haven't. There we go. And then you pull through very gently. Don't be tempted to pull too hard at this point, too fast, okay? And keep going, and you'll feel that you underneath your thumb you can't go any further, at which point swap it round and pull from the other side. Gently ease it down. Okay, and you should get a little loop. And the final bit, when you go back through at B, that does that last bit of neatening up. Look at that. Beautiful. Little archway there. So you can go much bigger than that, in that you could, you can have a very narrow gap here and put loads and loads of loops on, and you'll just get a higher loop. It does sometimes twist slightly because of the twist of the thread, but again, it depends what you're aiming for, but it's a very pretty little loop. Now you can do different amounts. Here we go. So I've used 2 threads because that's what we often do, and here's an example where that's what we've just done. There's one that's sort of twizzled a little bit. There's some shorter ones up there. So that's 2 threads. So here I've gone to the other extreme and I've done 8. No, I haven't. I've done 6 threads, and you can see it's really fat, which can be a lovely effect. And then down here is 4, which is quite nice as well. The more you have, the harder it is to get neat. And you can see the third one down on the 4 threads is not terribly neat, but my first, second, and fourth are neat. So I would say that's about, once you get going and you really get the hang of it, I would still say 1 in 4, 1 in 5 is quite far from perfect, shall we say. So there you are. Have a go. Hope you like that one.